All right. Hello, everyone. Guys, it's the last session.
The
Oh my
last.
gosh.
I
The
said it's
last
the
training camp,
final countdown.
like learning educational session. We still
Yes.
have happy hour.
Yes, we cannot forget about one of the top most requested sessions that is happy hour. Our users are pretty
Yes.
fun people, I have to say, because
Happy hour is always so fun. And guys,
yeah.
it's National Pet Day.
Oh yeah.
So before we've seen people have their pets on camera, feel free to do that. We'd love to see it.
Yeah.
But hey, Christopher, I'm looking for some other people I know who are always in here. Who else is going to show up
Diana
in that
where's
chat?
Diana? Is she in?
Diana, are you in here? But no,
Oh,
this
maybe
has
she's
been
running
so
late.
fun. I know. Where is everyone? We are on the last session. It's a Friday. We totally get it. But I hope you guys have been having a lot of fun with us throughout the week, even with all the chaos that we have been just going through. That's just how training camp is. It really is kind of like a boot camp in a way where we're going to throw a lot of information at you. We're going to tell you to join us here and there. And here we all are. Rhonda,
Yeah. We made
hello.
it.
We made it.
We
But
made it.
oh, you can tell that we're really relaxed this Friday. We
I
are just
know.
having some fun. I hope you guys don't mind. But no, this is always a really fun set. I keep saying that for all of my sessions, but we really had some fun picking out all of the sessions beforehand when we were in the midst of planning this months and months ago. And this is one that I know Stephanie actually is even better at talking about. So, Stephanie, you gotta
Oh.
judge my presentation today, but
Oh
she
no.
just did a really great session on how to build an itinerary, a part of our new agent series. So if you missed that and you don't know how to build an itinerary in Travefy, or if you want some good tips, she puts a lot in there. But I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get started. But again, for those of you joining us on Facebook Live, or if you are here, welcome. We are going to get started. Stephanie is on Facebook. She's just been hanging out on
I am.
Facebook all day. And then we
Facebook is
have
like my place now. It's
yeah,
just my second home at this point this week.
I know. We aren't on our phones or on social media enough, so we're just continuing it. But
Yeah.
I also have Izzy or Isabella from our client success team who is on the Zoom side. So if you have questions during our Zoom session, put it in the Q&A and she will get to it. But as always, you guys, I could probably pull someone in to go through all the slides with me because we have done this all every session throughout the entire week. We're recording, we're doing live Q&A, and if you haven't already joined our Facebook group, it's called Travefy Official Group. We have an exciting announcement that we've only put in there so far today. We weren't planning on doing an announcement, but let's just say that things came up and we put a little message in there. So go ahead and join it. We are always having a lot of fun in there. We also just completed our new agent series. I talked a little bit about this already, but these were sessions where we decided we want to take it right back to the beginning. If you aren't familiar with a website, your CRM, proposals, itineraries in Travefy, these were really great sessions to be a part of because we did it from the very beginning. So if you missed that, go ahead. We have all the recordings up on our YouTube already. Well, I guess the itineraries one might not be on YouTube
It
quite
is.
yet.
Nope,
Oh,
it's up there. It's just this one. This is the only one left.
see, guys, we are already almost done.
Yep.
But we are going to keep on pushing along. But all of the sessions that we've had so far have been really, really great. So let us know on Facebook Live or if you're on Zoom which session that you've had the most fun with, or if you're looking forward to happy hour the most. I wouldn't blame you. That's always super fun. But speaking of happy hour, we have prizes to win. So if you haven't already, brush up on your travel trivia knowledge because we're going to have some fun. That's going to be at 3:30 p.m. Central Time. So again, I can't hype it up enough. We're going to have some fun in that. But all right, last couple of things. Your social contest. Decided to, me and Stephanie talked. We had some messages. We were saying, you know what, let's extend this to Monday. Because I know there are some of you who are doing a whole nother job right now, or maybe you're traveling currently and you want to catch up on the recordings this weekend. Totally okay. We are extending the social contest to Monday, and that's where we'll choose 3 winners of whoever posted an Instagram or a Facebook post with that hashtag TravefyTC25. And we will announce winners on Monday. So you still have time. So get that in there. And it's always been really fun seeing all of your pictures, especially seeing your office space. I'm familiar with this studio, but seeing what your desk looks like, I love it. But all right, whew. Last slide, guys, start your free trial. This is one that we've been pushing because everything that we've been showing you, you're going to get within your account, even if you are starting your free trial for the first time. And some of these features I'm going to show you right now are pretty good, if I do say so myself. So start your free trial. You can do that at Travefy.com. But all right, enough slides. Let's get into it. Today we are talking about how can we make a one-of-a-kind experience for travelers to continue wowing them and to continue really repeating business with us. And so we've talked a lot about the different ways you can do that throughout the entire week, really. But I want to throw in some tips that you might have heard before once or twice, but I think are worth mentioning again. So the first thing I'm going to talk to you about are your pages. Who could have guessed Bonnie's going to talk about marketing pages? But when I say that is such a great way for you to stand out amongst other advisors who may not offer that, it is a game changer. So I like to bring this up for those of you who are newer advisors who, you know what, maybe I have a little bit more time compared to the advisor who has just so many clients that they can't really do anything extra. You have a special opportunity to create those landing pages for the clients that you have now in order to market yourself uniquely. And so I'm not going to do a full in-depth page builder 101 session. Don't worry. I know some of you guys are like, oh my gosh, I'm done with marketing. Don't talk to me about it. But I'm going to click save on here. And I'm just going to explain very briefly, again, those basics of that page builder. Your page builder is included in your Travefy subscription. It's where you can create that landing page for yourself. That's a singular page just like this, where you can include all of the details that someone would need. You can include some information about yourself, your Calendly calendar, you name it. But you can also create what is called a website for yourself as well. That is essentially a landing page connected to other landing pages. So if I wanted to, let's go ahead. I'm going to grab this homepage right here as an example. We actually, I'm pretty sure, did this in the last year's training camp. I've just held on to it since then. What I'm going to do is show you really quick how you can link multiple pages together. This is also going to be a way that you could link a page to your current website if it's outside of Travefy. So let's just do that really quick. Again, Friday is a really fun session where I've seen common questions come up, so it's just a good time to go over all of them that we've seen throughout the week. I'm going to hit the link one right here. And if you are creating multiple pages in Travefy, once again, if this is your homepage and you want to say, hey, I have a group going out here soon, or you want to see an example of the type of page that I put together, this is the type of service that I offer to my clients, either as an additional add-on, or, it's just included in packages right now since I'm just getting started. I'm going to hit that page button. We're deciding what we want this link to take them to. We want this to go to another one of our Travefy pages. I'm just going to grab one. I'm going to grab the Cynthia Celebration Travel, and I'm going to say example, custom, page, example. We'll click save. You can see that up at the top right there. And I'm just going to drag and drop it into the order that I want. I want it to be right next to destinations. So something you'll find in Travefy is drag and drop is really easy to do, and we offer it in most places within your account. So I just dragged and dropped it. I'm going to hit that save button. I'm going to hit publish. And now this way, when I go, let's just go together. I'm going to go to another tab. We're going to go to our Travefy homepage. Again, think with me, this is my homepage. I want to show people that all the type of example of pages that I can create for them. If they're doing a group, if it's a honeymoon, I can put together a beautiful custom page with all of your travel details. Here's an example of one. They click into it, and it takes them right here where they can see a little bit and get an idea, again, of those services that you offer. This is a great way for them to remember you, especially when a traveler is shopping around. This is going to stick out a lot more versus someone who doesn't offer this type of service, or if they just are going to a supplier website and they're like, oh, this is a general PDF booklet that every customer would get. They're seeing right here, oh my gosh, included custom messages. You can include their names within that URL up at the top as well. You don't have to be domain masked, or you can if you want to get on top of your branding. But I always say include a group landing page, include a personal landing page for your clients if you have the time to allow that. Now, I'm going to go back out of here. I'm going to tie this into a trip as well. So we have Cynthia Smith's vacation. This is one that we've been working on throughout the entire week together. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click that add new button. And by the way, Stephanie, if people are wondering and wanting me to slow down at all, yell at me. Izzy as well, yell at me if I'm going too fast. There's just so much to talk about. But we were just in our page builder. You can also go into your trip and you can click that add new button. And I don't know if you guys can see that on my screen okay, but you can also add your pages in here as a resource. So I know this is Cynthia. I'm going to grab a page and let's just say that, you know what? I know Bonnie told me to create landing pages for these clients. Great. I went to Marketplace. I saved some of the templates that I saw in there. I'm going to do this cruise featured trip landing page template. And this way, you can just automatically see all of your resources tied to this trip. This is a template that Desiree did. She is a great partner of ours, not partner, friend, but she created some amazing templates for you. She is a website designer and she has all of these templates in there for free for you to use. So take a look. She has some Canva templates linked in there so you can customize it to your brand colors. You can swap photos out if you're a Canva user, you name it. But this way, I can say, okay, here's my page. I at least know this is where I can find it again. If I'm ready to edit it, I can just hit that edit button. And from here, I can start putting in my client's information. These are information items that you probably already know at this point if you're putting a page for them together. Cruise name, Princess Cruise, destination, Bahamas, dates, put in those dates. Put the button to your forms or, your email address. But again, this is such a great tool to be able to leverage to really make sure that your clients remember this process. That's something that I've been preaching throughout Travefy's training camp this year is make the process as memorable as possible from the very beginning all the way to the very end. Now, that was all about pages. Let's dive into talking about some proposals and itineraries, if you will. So the first thing we're going to do is let's get to that Princess Cruise. We put this together in one of our sessions already where we pulled it in through that cruise import. I'm going to click edit on here. And as you can see, I really haven't done anything since we last talked about it or touched it. And one thing that I love doing is putting in a video. And I'm just going to grab one right here. I'm going to grab the Sun Princess item. This is where all the ship facts are. I'm going to click the pencil icon. And from here is our multimedia area. We can add up to 5 photos or videos. I'm going to click this plus button. And now I'm hitting that video option. This is where you can put the URL in of a YouTube video or a Vimeo. And I had someone the other day, and if you are watching, feel free to throw your name in so I can credit you. But they were asking, if I have the video on my phone, or how do I upload that since it requires a URL? Well, you can create your YouTube channel pretty easily. You just log in with an email that you would prefer, create a password, but you don't have to put your YouTube videos out there for everyone to see. That's what holds a lot of people back, honestly, and I don't blame you. Especially if you're going on fam trips and you're taking your own videos and tours, you don't necessarily want just anyone to be able to have those. And so you can actually upload any videos that you want. We do this a lot of times, and you can have them as unlisted. So that way you can get that YouTube link, but no one can discover that on your own and they can't take your credit for it. Now, you're also going to find a ton of supplier videos already. So if you're going to an all-inclusive, if we're doing this cruise, you can go on YouTube, put in your supplier's name, find their channel, and just look for videos that's going to work well with your itinerary or with your proposal. I love videos because it's immersive. Now, let's paste that in. And if anyone wants to know how to get that link, Izzy or Stephanie, let me know, and we can always share how to do that. But I grabbed a YouTube link, I'm clicking add video, and the thumbnail comes over and it's going to allow that person to play the video in here. I'm going to click save, And something else you can do is you can rearrange the order of your photos or videos as well. So I'm putting that in there. I'm selecting done editing. It's now going to be one of the first things this client sees when they access their proposal. So when I hit preview, this is what our client is going to see. They can scroll down, click into that video, and they can just start watching it right here. Now, again, this is directly from a supplier. You can put that in there, or again, if you have your own, throw in your own material, because I think that's a really great way for them to start hearing your voice a bit more if you do voiceovers. And really, what's better than organic content? But videos, once again, is a really easy way, in my opinion at least, to make a proposal very immersive. Now I'm going to click out of there. You can, again, add as many videos as you want. YouTube or Vimeo links work the best. Now, I'm going to go through a few tips that I've heard throughout this week on ways that you can continue really making this part memorable. One, this has been a popular one, and let us know in the chat if you use this method currently. One is creating a Loom video walkthrough. So Loom is essentially where you can record yourself and your screen at the same time. And this is where we've seen some advisors, while they're previewing it, record themselves talking to the client, we're recording though, saying, "Hi, I'm so excited for your upcoming trip. I just want to walk through this with you virtually on how you can read through all the details, and then I'll let you explore on your own. Here in this section, you're going to find X, Y, and Z. If you open up May 10th, that's going to be the first day of your travels." So on and so forth. You can upsell in there really easily, and it doesn't feel super salesy, because I always think that is the worst, is where you come off a little bit like a car salesman. You never want to do that. But having a Loom video, just sneaking that in there once in a while, saying, "Hey, I actually think that this package, even though it's a little bit more, would be perfect for you and what you've told me that you're looking to do on this vacation." Again, Loom, Loom. We aren't being paid to say their names, by the way. We just actually do love them. Is the company that you could go to and you could record yourself and you can share your screen. I'm sure there are other platforms out there that do that, but that's a really fun way that we've seen people start to use other softwares to, again, make this memorable for their clients. Another way, ooh, and I love this. One is also by printing out the itinerary or proposal and kind of creating a booklet out of it. We've seen pictures before where Travefy's been tagged in it, where you can create a PDF. You can include everything that you want. I'm just going to include everything. We'll create that PDF together. And from here, you can actually go ahead. We'll click to download. This is what it looks like. We've seen people begin to print this out, download it, print it out, staple it, make it look like a nice little booklet, and hand it directly to their clients. So some clients prefer, of course, as you know, that physical paper touch. So you can always do that there. That's where you could have some fun with Canva, maybe, if you want to create your own cover photos. I'm a Canva lover, if you couldn't tell. But this is where you could easily put, download that image into Canva, put in their names in that cover photo, so it's just a little bit more personalized. But seeing the comeback of print material is always super fun, and it's such a great way to be able to say, "Hey, here is your itinerary. I also have the online link and the mobile app link for you to have while you're on the go." But this can serve as kind of like a memory booklet in a way, or if they want to scrapbook it, that's always an option too. There's a lot of different ways that we've seen people go about this. Now, I'm going to remove out of there. If anyone has questions, again, put it in the chat, put it in the Q&A if you're on Zoom. We can always revisit these, or we can discuss more on any of these as well. Now, another one that we're going to go through today, I'm going to hop out of there. Let's create one quick proposal together. I'm going to select proposal. And I know, Stephanie, you touched on this a little bit, but we haven't really talked about it all that much, and that is Smart Import. So I'm going to create a brand new proposal. It's going to be completely blank, as you can see, and I'm just going to click edit so we can start to add some content in. But Smart Import is Travefy's AI tool that will help you bring content in from almost anywhere. And so let's see what that means. I'm going to select new event on this blank day. And from here, I'm going to select the Smart Import button. Now there's two ways that you can put information in here. You can either copy and paste, which is totally fine, or what I typically prefer to do is actually upload a PDF. Now, there's a few situations that you might find yourself in where this comes in super handy. One is if you're working with a smaller DMC, they maybe don't have the operation to do an integration with Travefy, or they're really just not looking to do that right now. They can always send you their PDF as they usually would, and you can upload it directly within here. This is going to help build it out for you so you don't have to do nearly as much work on your own, manually having to craft things out. So let's try this out together. I'm gonna grab this here and we're gonna find a Delta Vacations quote. I'm gonna hit open on there and let's hit import and we'll see how speedy Travefy's internet in the office is going to be today. But again, I rather wait a few seconds for this to build out rather than having to click new event, activity, looking at my email, copying and pasting the details in, putting it in here. I rather just sit back, take a sip of coffee, chat with you guys. But no, we love Smart Import so much. And you can see that these events are in the past. There's some that we're unsure about. That's where we're saying, you know what, we aren't quite sure. There's not a specific date or time attached to this event. So go through, we can take a look. We can see that this was for April 5th, so we're past this quote date a little bit. But we can go through, you can decide if you want to include anything or not. If you don't want to include the breakfast event, you can deselect it so it doesn't come over. You can also see where there's an add image option. This is where you can do just that. If there are images in that PDF that you uploaded, you can use the images that we could scan through there. So let's just go to the breakfast included, I guess, add images, and you can see we have one image from that PDF. I'm gonna grab it, assign the image, and let's just hit done and import over. Now again, it's gonna give me a little break. Never mind, it was actually pretty speedy. Put in your feedback if you have any, and then as you can see, it builds it out for me. And I know this is in the past, otherwise, if this were an itinerary, these dates were coming up, it would also continue to track those flight updates. So how does this wow your clients? Well, the quicker that you can get a proposal to them, the quicker you get that itinerary to them, the better for their client experience. They can go around and say, hey, I used a travel advisor for maybe the first time ever, and it was super quick, it was super easy. That's one of the biggest reasons why travelers want to go with an advisor in the first place, at least. Then they get hooked and realize, oh my gosh, I can't do travel any other way. But some of the biggest reasons is they want to save time. They don't have time themselves, so they're going to have you, the expert, do all the booking for them. So again, by being able to use Smart Import, have AI do the really, I'm going to say it, boring stuff, and then you can focus on bringing in that special touch. Or as David from Travefy likes to say, that special sauce. You get to focus on the special sauce. You can leave AI to do all of the boring work. But that's a little bit about Smart Import. Again, new event, hit that Smart Import button right here. Now, I've got some more tips to go through with you guys, so hopefully you are learning some new things. I know I have some users on here who have been using Travefy for a while, but let's see what else I can surprise you with. Now, one is decisions. I know some of you have been getting into decisions since we chatted about it a little earlier on in training camp, but it doesn't hurt to bring it back up again. One of the reasons is because when we are thinking about the proposal process, involving a client in the planning process as much as they want to is really important versus having it feel transactional. And so one way that you can involve them really, really easily is by selecting Add New. And we're going to create a decision together. This is where we can take up to 3 different options and we can say, hey, here are some options available for you. Now, something that we did last time was we went ahead and we presented 3 proposals for that client, for Cynthia, if you were in that session. However, one that we haven't looked at is events. This is where we are giving them options within one proposal. So if you will, think of it as maybe we're doing that cruise option and we are giving them a couple of different options just within that proposal or that itinerary. We're saying, hey, I know you want to go on this sailing. However, maybe I need to know which accommodation option you want, or maybe I offer different packages just within this cruise sailing. Which one do you want to do? That's not necessarily 3 different proposals, but it could be within one. And that's where the events for decisions comes in, event level decisions. So let's grab that. I'm going to grab a proposal that I want to give them some options on. I'm going to try Princess Cruise. Let's see if we have some good options in here. And I'm going to actually go back. Let's see. It's been a hot second since I actually looked through either of these. I'm going to choose Eshkaret. What you've got for me? Let's say that we have two different options with the Eshkaret one, and we're going to give them two options on if you want to do the facial or if you want to do, I think this is a dining reservation. I'll choose those two. We'll create the decision together. You can do up to 3 of those options, by the way. And now, if I want to edit this, it's going to look pretty dang similar to what you're used to seeing when it comes to a decision when you have 3 proposals. But again, the whole idea around this is 1, involve your client in the planning process, and 2, it's going to make it easy for them to cross compare. So if you had any prices in there, they could easily see those prices. If you want to include a little advisor summary, absolutely do that. All you have to do is select add summary right here and add in, again, those special touches. They want to hear your expertise. They know they're working with an expert. So give them the advice that they're looking for. For instance, and we're just going to do it for this one, I'll say, Stephanie, I know you'll absolutely love this facial activity. You can drink wine and soak in some needed moisturizer. Not calling Stephanie dry, but that is what we're going to put down. I'm going to save that summary. Not only am I bringing her into the conversation, but again, she knows that I'm taking the time out of my day to really think about what she wants to do. He, she, whoever it is, if you're working with a family, if you're working with a group, this can bring in the personalization that they're looking for. As with the decision, when you're done, hit continue. Continue to send. You can include a form if you want to. I don't have any forms for Stephanie to fill out. I'm going to pretend Stephanie's name is Cynthia now. So we're sending this to Cynthia. We can CC ourselves and we can include that custom message. So for me, we'll just include the standard one that I have as a saved message, send the email off, and this is going to allow them to go ahead and choose what they want to do. If you're interested in seeing that, let's preview this really quick. We can't submit anything because we're the ones previewing it, but they can select which one they want to go with. Oh, it looks like Bonnie has told me that this would be a really good one for me. I'll select that option and they'll get a little confirmation button that they can click into, and they'll get some confetti saying, great job, you've made a decision. You are notified through an email that they made that decision and can continue getting that booking process on the way. But I love taking advantage of decisions. If you want to hear a true expert on this, Morgan and Stephanie from our team had a really great session, I think on the first day, if I'm remembering everything right. Go to our YouTube channel, check it out. And Morgan also created a lot of great templates for you in Marketplace as well tied into there. Now, that was a little bit about proposals, so I'm going to go through my list to summarize with you what we all just talked about, not even bringing in our pages conversation. We saw how we could add a video in. That's making it immersive. It's not just a standard boring PDF. 2, we saw how we could also see how we can make it immersive even more than just a video. We could do a Loom video walking through that proposal. We could also actually print out a PDF, staple it like a booklet, and give it to that client as more of a memory token, if anything. We also saw Smart Import. That's how you can pull things in so quickly and easily to build out for you, letting you save some time there and focus on adding in that touch. And then lastly, what we just saw, event level decisions. Add in your own advice to your clients, add in that character, and then involve them in the planning process, because this is going to be what they remember and can take away. Now, we have a few other sections we're talking about. One bonus section that came out of this morning, but let's move on to itineraries. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to grab that Princess Cruise one once again, and I'm going to click edit on here. As we mentioned, I haven't really done anything to this. I'm going to go to the 14th. This is where they are going to be at Corfu. Hopefully I'm saying that right. But if you want to add in even more content to let your clients really experience what it's like going with an advisor, instead of, this is standard information. The itinerary is what they would get even with a supplier. Where do you add in the expertise and how do you do it quickly? I'm going to go to the city guides. City guides is that free destination content that's available to you that you can use to your own liking. I use it for anywhere that I'm going to visit to. So let's type in the city name. I'm going to type in Corfu and I'm going to grab arrival guides. I'm going to zoom in so you can see this here a little bit better. We have two companies that we work through for these guides. One is Arrival Guides, one is Trip Report. They have, I know this is a question that comes up with city guides. They continue to look through all of their guides and continue to update it, and it updates then within Travefy's system as well. But if you have any specific questions about their companies, again, Arrival Guides is who you can look at, and Trip Report. We just give you multiple options because it doesn't hurt when it comes to destination guides. But I'm going to grab Arrival Guides. And we'll zoom out. And let's say, they're from here from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. And you know what, let's just throw in a little bit about the do and see. We already get a little bit of information about the actual location. I'm going to just drag and drop do and see in. And from here, we can actually see all of the different options that come over and we get a little bit of description right here. Your clients can actually click into each of these attachments. So if we're interested in the old fortress, they can click into it. They have a nice interactive map that they can zoom in and out of, drag and drop it. If they want to see the satellite version, they can. But if they scroll down, they can see a little bit more description in here as well. Now, here's a little tip. You can actually fully customize these attachments. So if you click the pencil icon, I hope you guys can see that okay, pencil icon, that's going to allow you to edit that specific attachment. So let's say that you want to put in a phone number for someone that you know from this location. You could put in a phone number. You could remove out any information you don't want in there. You can also include additional descriptions, or again, you can remove out what you don't want. But this is a really easy way that you can customize pretty much everything that you see that's being presented to your clients. We'll click Done Editing. And now, if they want to click that, they can give whoever that person is a call. I'm going to click out of there. One last thing with your city guides, if there's anything you don't want in there, you can always hit the little red button and that automatically removes it out from here. But I'm clicking out of there. Here's that city guide. Once again, we're saving time. Again, huge thing for our clients is making sure that we can get them their items that they need. And we're still providing some really great information for them, especially if maybe this is the first time they're visiting this destination. Now, another thing, this is one that Stephanie talked about already in her last session, but if you didn't tune in for that one, let's go ahead and take a look. You can customize your day titles as well. So if you are someone who loves customization, this is for you. If I want to say, instead of Saturday, I'm going to click right on into there. We can put whatever day title that we want in here. I'm going to say, first day at sea. First day at sea. I happen to be on a Mac computer, which is an Apple computer, and I have emojis at my fingertips. I'm just going to put an emoji in, and I'm going to click Done. It doesn't really matter where you're getting emojis from. I think Stephanie has a place that she likes using emojis. So if Stephanie, if you have time, throw it in the chat. Otherwise, I'll make sure at the end here we go over that. But emojis are super fun. Someone one day just realized that they could put it in there, and since then we've just continued that on. But emojis are really fun for certain clients. I know some clients you might not want to use emojis. For the fun ones though, throw them on in there. But all right, you ready for some more tips and tricks of mine? Hopefully this isn't feeling like too much, especially at the end of a 4-day training camp, but let's just continue on. Another way to make your itineraries, your proposals, your process stand out to clients is by getting them to use that mobile app. So whenever we preview this, this is a link that you can use to send to your clients. This is the web link. They can obviously just use this. However, if we click send, and actually let me quickly make this an itinerary. Fun fact, you cannot send a proposal and view it on the mobile app for a few reasons, mostly because we have run into the issue where some clients want to take your work in that quote process and they ghost you and they want to try book things themselves, or even worse, they try and get another advisor to book the proposal that you crafted and put together and put your hard work into. So if it's a proposal, they will not be able to see it in their mobile app. However, once we turn this to an itinerary, I'm just going to go into my settings. I don't have a client to actually approve that. I'm just going to change it to an itinerary. And now when I click send, we have the option to grab the mobile app link. This is a link that I can send to my clients directly for them to be able to view it in their app. Now, Bonnie, what is the app called? We're going to go to this handy little page right here. And this is called Trip Plans. And I'm looking at my chat over here. But Stephanie, if you want to throw Trip Plans into Facebook, that would be great. But this is a landing page that you can send to your clients. You can use it for yourself. But I want to explain a few key things when it comes to the mobile app. This is the mobile app for your client. First things first, if you see that right here, your information is front and center. There are a lot of clients who think that, oh, this is my advisor's app. By all means, take credit for the app. We do not feel like you are being, deceased. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm losing my words. But absolutely, just tell your clients that that's your app. Use it as a selling point, angle it as a selling point. You can also see, if I scroll down, if I'm on the itinerary, it organizes the information in a way that makes sense, especially when you're on something small like your phone. Now, other things to note is there's an available offline button. Always tell your clients to turn that button on. It'll still update automatically if they are connected to Wi-Fi, if they have service. But if they lose connections to both of them, that's going to make sure that they can still access all of the information that's included on their itinerary. So think about worst case scenario. I know a lot of you have to think that way when it comes to travel, but think about that client who's been anxious about traveling for the first time ever. They're your first client. They're using you for the first time, and they have been scared about traveling internationally, and you've been hyping it up for the past couple of months to them that they can do it. Well, they get there, they land, they suddenly don't have cell service working for whatever reason. Maybe they don't have Wi-Fi available. They are in a pickle. However, because the available offline mode is toggled on their app, they can still access all of the information. So if there's an emergency phone number, they can go ahead, find a phone booth. Hopefully they have the currency, but they can give you a call. They can give whoever is there a call as well. So again, we
Hey,
hate to think, oh,
oh,
oh
really?
man, I'm frozen.
Yeah. Oh, wait, your mouse is moving now, though. Oh, yeah. Oh, I was thinking your screen was frozen, but it's not. I think it was just.
Oh man, guys.
Well, it's all right. We
Well,
can
I'm
hear
gonna
you and
close
see the
my
screen. All
camera so
good.
you. I was gonna say I don't want to keep my mouth open on here the entire time. So just imagine me moving around a lot. I think the camera in the studio gets mad when I do make a lot of movement, and I was getting excited. But who knows? Maybe I'll pop back on. But for right now, you just get to see my screen, get to see me moving around on here. But last couple of things when it comes to the mobile app, and man, I've got one really big update for you guys, so stick around. Other things before we get there. Real-time updates, you get your flight notifications. Huge thing. I'm someone who's a bit of an anxious traveler. I'm sure you have those clients as well. They're going to receive push notifications from their mobile app if they receive any type of flight change or issues. So if the gates changed, if anything happens, a cancellation, hopefully not, but they'll be notified through their app. Documentation, we talked a bit about that. They'll be able to access that whenever they need to. And the chat, this is such a fun way to, again, involve them in every step of the process, even while they're on their trip. If you want to automate a trip message to go to them saying, hey, I'm just checking in, no need to respond to me, but I just want to make sure that if you have any questions now that you're there, let me know. Otherwise, have fun. We'll talk to you later. You can always include the chat aspect like that. Or if you're doing a group, it supports a group chat. So they can talk to each other, and you can always mute the notifications if you don't want to hear about every little thing that they're doing. But all right, here's the really big thing that we're going to talk about that came up from this morning. I'm going to go back to my trips right here. And we're actually going to talk about invoices for a really quick little bit. And I'm going to select Add New. Supplier invoices, this was released very early this week, I believe on the first day of training camp, which was Tuesday. Oh my gosh, it's already end of Friday. I'm going to click Supplier Invoice. We just talked about supplier invoicing in the first session when we talked about CRM from start to finish. So now, what does Bonnie have to say about supplier invoicing? Guys, there have been so many updates since this morning that you've been hearing about, that Kyle and Lee were talking about, saying, oh, next Monday, early next week, we hope to get you some updates. Well, I'm here to tell you they were working really hard to get some things to you before the end of training camp. Because guess what? If I go ahead, I can select an itinerary. I'm going to say Eshkret Arte. And if I have prices on there, I can auto populate an invoice from the prices and it totals everything up for me. Boom. Oh my gosh. All you have to do is really put in the description. But the titles come in from my events. I had flights in there. I had travel insurance. I had a check-in for the hotel. So maybe not checking at the hotel, but it goes ahead and it totals everything up. This has been something that has been asked for so long from I know current users, that this has been something that's so exciting to see. But now if you include prices in your proposals, you can say, okay, let's auto populate that invoice, check through it, make sure everything looks good. And from there, you can send it directly to your client. Instead of having to go back, have a tab open that's going through the proposal, making sure you have every little thing listed, auto populate. And you can always change which trip you want it to auto populate from. Eshkret Arte just happens to be the one that I have prices in. So that has been super great. I'm gonna check my notes really quick on some of the other updates. You guys get an exclusive first look. Actually, our Facebook group got the announcement first, but a few other things that were promised. One is that a traveler can authorize an amount lower than the authorization amount. So if a client is looking at this and they want to put $100 towards that $3,500 line item, great, they can do that up until that deadline that we have set for them. So if $3,500 is due, let's say in 2 weeks, they can pay a little bit at a time up until that 2 week deadline where they need to make sure they have it authorized in full or the remaining balance. There's a few other things that got released, but I'm just gonna let you guys kind of explore on your own and see everything that was promised be right in here. But we really got that out less than 24 hours, and I don't know if you can tell from how excited I am, but I am super excited about seeing some of these updates that came out of conversations that we had literally yesterday with everyone. But all right, whew, how are we feeling? So Stephanie, I want to make sure we have at least a little bit of time for 2:43 here. I think we're doing okay.
Yeah, we can answer a couple of these. So some of the questions, okay, let me go back to a couple here that were earlier. So this was when you were talking about like landing page stuff, Jessica on Facebook mentioned, well, I already replied back to her, but I just want everybody to hear it. Is she said, I have a client who wants me to book a group all-inclusive vacation for a surprise birthday. I'm wondering if you have any tips on how I can use Travefy as an invitation for guests who would be invited and offering for them to book through me. I feel like maybe the web page would be a good idea. And I said, yes, I think so. But then I
Oh
also
my
told her, go
gosh.
check out some templates. And I sent those too.
Awesome. Yes, I absolutely recommend that because one, there's a few reasons why I say create a landing page in order to put all of the group's trips item right within there. Let me see if I have a good example of a group one and we'll see. Let's go to Royally Relaxed. One
Ooh,
is you
royally
can
relaxed. I like it.
royally relax, chat GPT for the win when it comes to puns. But one of the biggest reasons is one, put your booking form in there that you create in Travefy on here. It's really easy to connect them together. So that way you are notified about every time someone puts in a booking response and you can just start them on your client workflow. Other things is that it's saving you time. So people are asking you, hey, can you send me everything that I need to do? Like I have all these questions. They're all on this page. You can tell them and you can customize that landing page URL. So this is Johnson Caribbean Cruise. You can substitute the last name for another client. You can create copies. You can create templates of this so you can save time for your future clients. I actually talk all about that in the templates session that we had earlier this week. But something else, since we're doing okay on time, I am going to grab this link right here, paste it in. But this is something where if you share this one link out to your clients, they can share it out with their friends, their family, if you're okay with that, of course. But I think it's such good organic marketing, which is the best kind of marketing that you could have. So if the group leader is saying, "Hey, I'm super excited that my travel advisor has put together a super fun group trip. I'd love for you all to come with me and celebrate my birthday on board this ship or at this all inclusive or on this FIT. Join me." Share it, like it. But that is a great way to get more traffic to your page. And even if they aren't necessarily going to book, that's okay. They're still getting here and they have that in the back of their mind. They're seeing your logo, they're seeing your colors. And if something comes up, let's say, a few months down the line where they're thinking, oh my gosh, a travel advisor would be great. Who did so and so use for their trip? They're going to come back to you and they're going to have a great testimonial from their friends or family who used you. Something else I'm going to say right here is QR codes are really coming back. We have been using QR codes more than ever. It's really great if you're going to something like a trade show where you're doing, you're advertising your services and saying, hey, I do all sorts of things. Here's some examples. You can't super easily share out examples of the type of content that you create when you're in person sometimes. Or if you have a business card, you can easily put a QR code on your business card at least. But if you need help, I found that Chrome actually will create a QR code for you if you aren't familiar with other services. All you got to do is right click while you're on your landing page and then create QR code for this page. And this is a QR code that you can use. You can download it. You can put it anywhere you want. Of course, because it's from Google, it's going to have that dinosaur in the middle. So if you don't want the dinosaur, you can go to places like Canva or what we use. We like to use Bitly because you can customize it a little bit more. But these are all super fun ways that you can incorporate it into your marketing. Just a little thing there. I know I
Um,
went really off
I
topic,
didn't
but
I did not know you could do that. Bonnie's taught me 2 things now. Something like that's crazy. That's amazing. That's so cool.
I
Amazing
know
thing.
it's like why out of all the things Chrome could be making, like why are
It's
they
like
creating QR codes? But I'm not mad about
I
it.
mean, it works, yeah. It's like, okay, yeah. It's just so hidden, yeah.
Mhm.
I have something to bring up though, because this is where like pages can get confusing sometimes because you can do so many things with them. So there's one thing that I want to clarify because Brie on Facebook is talking about like I can just see the wheels a spinning, Brie, thinking of all the
Ooh.
ideas. But Brie was asking, like, so do you have to have a website first before you do a landing page? Or
No. Oh, go ahead.
exactly.
It sounds like
Yeah,
there might
no,
be
go
more.
for it. Go for it. Yeah.
No, that's always the tricky thing is trying to explain websites versus landing
I know because it's
pages.
kind of the same, but not. Like
They're
it is, but it
really
isn't.
almost the same. So let
Yeah.
me go to an example really quick. I'm going to my my own
Oh,
website.
it's bon voyage. We always
Bon
say that in the
voyage for
office.
Bonnie. But this here is actually, I'm going to throw you for a loop just for a quick second. As you can see, scrolling from top to bottom, this is a landing page. This is one page. But because I have links to other pages of mine up within the top, you can really start to think of that as a website. So if I have, I'm not sure if any of these pages are still live. Back when I had blonde hair, I haven't updated that little cartoon yet. But it takes me to the About section of my same website. So that is where you think of a website as just multiple landing pages. So this here's another landing page connected together through buttons like these up within the navigation bar. However, it's totally okay if you just want to start off with creating standalone landing pages. A standalone landing page is exactly what that sounds like, where you don't necessarily need to connect it to other pages. You can connect it to different buttons or different sections within the same page, just like what I did there. However, I don't need to connect it to an about page. I don't need to connect it to my promotional pages. It's just one page that I could send to a client where they aren't going to get super distracted and they have everything they need right here. So, website, multiple, landing page, singular.
Yes, I love that. I was I was laughing. I was giggling at your picture with the. It was a COVID one. It was like I
Yes,
remember that because you made
throwback.
Yeah, I will say, you guys, if you ever see that we have a webinar coming up and it's Bonnie's presenting and it's on landing pages, join it because she's the best at them. She's so good at them. They're
Well, I
fun.
was gonna say, I have learned most of my tips from other users, especially when I
True.
used to do training one-on-ones with everyone. I would be able to get as many ideas from you guys as I could, and I just mesh together everything that I learned from every person that I talked to. So that's why you should set up
Yes.
a training with someone from our support team or set up a demo with someone from our sales team because they're constantly talking to you guys. So,
I also would I would also recommend too, go check out the session from Wednesday. So it's marketing. It was marketing for Travefy. Go check that out because I did that one, but I did a lot of examples of what users do. And I think that would be really helpful too to go check that
oh
one
my
out because
gosh,
that
yes.
was my fave. I loved that
If
one. That was really cool.
I had anything to say too, the nice thing about streaming on Facebook Live, even though we weren't initially planning it, but
Eh,
because we're on Facebook Live, you can see everyone's comments and chats. There were so many good
yes.
landing pages and website examples from your peers that continue to live on in that chat versus as a Zoom, it closes. You don't really get to see that chat anymore, but it lives forever on Facebook Live. So,
Yeah. Ooh, I'm gonna ask you a question. Then when you answer that, I'm gonna go in and my Facebook peeps. I'm going to go find that video and I'll link it in there. So I can
ooh.
just get it right to you. But question though, I love. Wait, where did it go? Uh, okay, somebody asked where I can't. Oh, there it is. Okay, so this question, I love it. Where do these mysterious landing pages live? But I think it's being referred to the marketplace ones.
Oh,
I think.
okay. Yes. I know. It's like, oh, there's these free templates, there's these
We
free
keep talking about
things.
it. Yeah.
But yeah, that's a really good pivot point. We're gonna go to Marketplace really quick. And under training camp bonus content is where you're going to find all the content that we've been talking about, that we've been saying, oh, go here if you want it for free. This is where you'll find it. So let's go. I'm going to click show more. And I'm just going to quickly refresh my screen. There we go. And as you can see, you're going to find a whole slew of things. However, if you want to just save yourself some time, because we do include a lot of information in here, I'm going to go to the filters area and I'm just going to narrow it down by category. So if you want to talk all about landing pages, scroll to the bottom, say pages. I want to see everything that's featured. Here are all of those pages. We've got a blog template, a home template. We have the ones from Desiree that I've been talking about that have Canva links and templates within that. But you're also going to find all of these other ones right in here. That's also a really great way where if you don't want to see our featured ones, that's okay. All of the content you'll see has been created by other Travefy users. So if I click out a featured, here's everything that's been shared out. And honestly, we should probably go through and look through some of these and see which ones we can go ahead and feature because there's some really good ones in there.
Hmm.
So take a look. I can talk about pages all day, every day, but you're going to be able to find other things too. So if you want to get some inspiration on workflows, task lists, here's what people have been making. You can see for yourself everything that they like to do. If I want to see what Peggy does for her pre and post trip, I can click right into there and I can see what they're doing. So use the source. It's free for Travefy users. That's a big reason why I say start your free trial so you can at least see all the content that you can use to build your account up. But yeah, so much good
It's
things in
awesome.
here.
I know it is. And okay, so I've got two more questions I think that we can do here.
All right.
These might be wow, this is kind of big deal. These might be the last two questions of training camp 2025. Okay, so we got a question from Randy. So question from Randy here is this is about smart import. Because I think this is a really good question. So with smart import, can you do multiple imports?
Yes, you can do as
Nice.
many imports as you want. So, for example, if I were to create a brand new proposal, let's just do that. We'll click edit. The key thing is just knowing this. Smart import, you can only upload one PDF at a time, which I think is probably the best thing because it could get overwhelming if you have a really large PDF of information. So you do it PDF by PDF or you copy and paste. Once you have that done, it's imported, great. You can move on to the next smart import. So to answer your question, yes, you can do it multiple times within a trip. There's no limit to it.
Amazing. I love that. Okay. Now, I was sorry, I was replying to one more on here on Facebook, but This might okay, we might have room for 2 more. So here's another one. Okay, question from JD is what happens to client itineraries when we archive them?
Ooh. So itineraries is what I heard. If you archive them.
Yeah, or itineraries or like the proposal or yeah, like
Yeah. So there's a few things. I'm glad this got brought up. One, we are still operating within Cynthia Smith's 2025 vacation trip. Trip is a lot more than just one itinerary, one proposal. As you can see, I have multiple proposals, multiple itineraries, a lot of other resources just within this one trip. If I want to archive something, because I do want to archive this, we didn't put anything in there. What I can do is I'll archive it and it simply hides it from the view so my workspace stays nice, clean, and organized. If I need to bring it back for whatever reason, let's say I sent this to Cynthia and she's like, wait a minute, can I actually see option 5 that you had sent me? I had already archived option 5, but no problem. I can go right back in here and unarchive it. So it's really flexible to your client as well as your needs because if anything, travel, nothing is set in stone. So we don't want you to be able to delete something and then it be gone forever. We're trying to avoid that because that just takes time if you have to message us and then we have to say, okay, we need this and this and this, and then it's a whole thing. So we let you archive it, but it's not going away forever. Not unless, and here's another key thing, not unless you completely delete your trip. So you can archive this trip and then you have the option to delete it. I'm not going to do that, but I'll just keep it in here for right now. But hopefully that all makes sense.
yeah. I love it. Okay, I lied. This isn't really this is question slash comment. Because this again, this could be its own webinar, but not to keep pushing to the session that I did, the marketing one, but somebody asked a question and I'm like, oh yeah, can a landing page be found on Google search? Yes, that is like the one of the best parts that like honestly I forget to kind of talk about. And I do spend a little bit of time in that session explaining, but here's the thing is our developers are super smart that they know the point isn't just to also have this really amazing website. The whole point is also to be use it for marketing so you start getting found. So it is utilized for search engine optimization, and you can see right there bon voyage.
Bonnie
Bon
Voyage.
voyage.
Don't know who this is, but
I was
apparently
gonna say, I
I
was
might have
like, you
stolen
created?
their domain handle. Well, I took it first, or else it wouldn't have
You
been
had
for
it first,
sale.
bon
So
voyage.
I don't know who this imposter is.
I was like, you
But
really went for this branding. I like it.
like, Bonnie, I didn't know you had that many followers.
Yeah.
Not me. But no, it is really helpful, especially when you at least get started with it with SEO. I know it can be a lot to think, oh my gosh, I need a website, I need this and this and this. Start off with your one homepage, if anything, and get your SEO done early on because even though you're doing changes, even though you're going to make different edits, I've gone through a whole, if you will, brand refresh multiple times for my website. Your SEO continues to work behind the scenes. So it's going to be brought up. And the longer that a website is out there, it's published, that's just another factor that helps contribute to it. We have a few articles that help discuss this, but Google is an amazing place. Whatever search engine that you use, you can find some really great SEO guidelines and different articles out there. But if you need help getting started, go to our help center. I like to go in here because I can still stay in my account while I search this. If I type in SEO, you're going to be able to see a lot of different things. You can say, oh, I have my SEO in there. What's submitting your website for indexing? Honestly, I don't know at this point, so you could click into it. It'll tell you a little bit on what to do. This is just going to help with Google. Not to overwhelm you, let's just get out of that one really quick. Again, SEO, that can be a whole nother thing, but at least get some descriptions in there because, again, it's going to continue working as you make changes.
I love that. Not too overwhelmed. No, for real.
Like,
Every
let's get
time I
out of
start to do
there.
SEO stuff, I'm like, ugh. Like I get it, but yeah. But the thing is like in Travefy, we make it easy. So it's just, yeah. And you just have to give it a little bit of time and it'll be good. But Bonnie, we're on the dot.
Exactly.
I think we
Oh
need to
my
start
gosh.
preparing for happy hour. Bonnie, can you tell everybody
Yes.
where do they need to go in 30 minutes? What needs to happen?
Okay. just go ahead. If you're on Zoom, keep coming here. If you are on Facebook Live, we are streaming to the Facebook page. So stay where you are because we'll be doing this in about 30 minutes. And I would say, if anything, brush up on your Kahoot knowledge because that's where we're doing our
Mhm.
trivia. So just take a look. If you've never done a Kahoot before, look it up. We'll tell you all the instructions once we go ahead and live stream, and we aren't going to start right off the bat either. So you'll have time to get it figured out with all of us and we'll get it going. But travel trivia knowledge, you have 30 minutes to go through your flashcards, everyone. So,
Yeah, and
whew,
it's kind of on a lot of I mean, I feel like it's not going to be, like, the hardest thing ever, and it's not gonna be the easiest thing ever, but it's just gonna be it might be pretty easy. I think it's more on the easy side than the hard side, that's all I'll say.
yeah, yeah,
We'll say
we'll
that.
see.
Yeah,
So
it'll
bring
be
the
so fun.
knowledge,
Yeah, we will
bring a
see you
wine.
here soon. Yeah, get your drink of choice, even if it because it also is different times of the day for everybody. So, whatever works for you, grab it and come back and hang out with us here shortly as we wrap everything up. So, thanks, Bonnie. We will
Amazing.
see you
Of
soon.
course. See you guys soon.
See ya.
Woo!